Welcome to Aging with Confidence. My name is Bob Smith. I am the owner and founder of Scottsdale Financial Group. Our goal is to provide you answers to questions regarding long-term care insurance. We have developed an education center that is available to you. I'm sure you have many questions. If my family needs long-term care insurance, how does long-term care insurance work? What's the cost? What are the benefits? How do I trigger a benefit? So we have an education center that we have tried to address every question that I've been asked over my 37-year career regarding long-term care insurance. So one of the questions that I'm asked, that's a great question because I can relate to it personally, is can I buy long-term care insurance for my parents? I'll use myself as an example. My grandmother had dementia and she was in long-term care facility for 8 years. And it financially devastated my grandparents. I watched my mom for 8 years visit my grandmother every day just to be her advocate, to make sure she was being taken care of. So in seeing that, I started to look at my mom and dad and could see that they were in a very similar situation. My parents have earned a very modest income. And I love my parents very much, and I want to make sure that I'm there for them when they need me in a long-term care situation. But my mom and dad were going down the same road. And I was worried specifically about my mom. Could she also in the future have dementia or other health-related issues? And how could my dad afford that? So as an advisor, knowing a lot about long-term care, I bought a policy on my mom. I was earning a great income, and I have the ability to afford a policy for my parents. So instead of waiting for the event to happen and coming up with my dollars at a time that I'm actually in retirement and I'm on a fixed income, a fixed budget, a $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month cost to my estate to provide for my parents would definitely have an impact on my retirement plan. And I didn't want my mom or dad to have to deal with some sort of a state-sponsored long-term care facility, because then they leverage and ask for liens on assets that my parents own, like their home or savings, to reimburse the state for their expenses. So I didn't want my parents to go through what my grandparents went through. So based on the fact that I earned a good income, I thought, you know what, rather than using my after-tax dollars at retirement to provide for my mom or dad, I decided to buy a long-term care insurance policy on my mom when she was in her later 60s and she was healthy. So I pay about $4,000 a year for a long-term care plan for my mom that right now is worth about $11,000 a month in tax-free income, and it will pay her for her lifetime. So I pay $4,000 to protect not only them, but also to protect my estate. And just to kind of step back, I want you to know it's an honor for me to provide for my parents. I love my parents very much. I just don't want them to be forced to go through the state-sponsored long-term care plan. I would prefer that they have options that I can control with them. So this is not something I'm doing to run away from caring for my parents. It's something I'm doing because I care very much for them. So that's my story. So the question is, can you buy a long-term care policy for mom and dad? And the answer is yes. And it's becoming more and more common. With my policy and with whatever you would choose to do, you can be the owner of that policy, which means you'll get all the communication. You can make changes if you choose to. So all the information regarding my mom's policy comes to me. So I'm in control of the information. The premium is paid for by me. So I pay the premium every year. So my parents don't have that burden. They don't have that cost. They probably couldn't afford it. I could, so I pay for it. The beneficiary is my mom. So when she qualifies for a claim, she's going to receive the benefit. And that's what the intention was from the beginning. So the question is, can you buy a policy for mom and dad if they can't afford one? The answer is yes. And here's what you're doing. You're protecting them. You're giving them choices. You're giving them options. You're giving them the ability to get the care that you would like them to receive. And it's care that your parents are really going to appreciate compared to what's available through the state. But what you're also doing is you're protecting your estate. So you have retirement plan. You have assets that you're going to eventually live on. Can you afford an additional 70, 80, 100 grand a year of after-tax dollars that you're going to pay if you wait and don't buy long-term care insurance on your parents? I don't know about you, but that definitely moves my needle, and it's not the preferred way to go. So it gives me peace of mind. It protects my estate, and it provides a phenomenal option and care for my parents. So I would highly encourage you not only to look into care for you and maybe your family, but think about mom and dad. If you have the ability to afford the premium for them, and you know they're not in a financial position to pay for it for themselves, you can buy the coverage for them. You can control all the information. Every bit of correspondence is going to come to your home. The annual premium's paid for by you. The beneficiary would be your parents. So it's something that I personally believe in. It's something that I do, and it's available to you. So if you have questions, definitely give us a call. We can show you how it works. Our education center has answers to a lot of other questions that you may have about personal long-term care or buying it for mom and dad. Our education center, you can get there by going to ltcedu.com. That's our website, and we have a specific page called our education center, which will provide you answers to many questions that you may have. So buying long-term care insurance for mom and dad, I've done it. I think it's incredibly smart. It's a way to protect not only mom and dad, but it's a way to protect your own assets. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for visiting us at Aging with Confidence. Take care.